This podcast contains strong language and discussions about relationships, sex, and love. It may not be suitable for younger listeners. This is the Can't Keep My Mouth Shut podcast, and I am Nixalina. Hello, it's me, Nixalina. Welcome back to Can't Keep My Mouth Shut. And this episode, my lovely listeners, is a rant. A fucking rant. And it is called, Does the Internet Want Me to Resign from Dating, Sex and Love Content? What? Resign? Hang up my cloak? I don't even own a cloak, but I'm gonna hang it up. Does the internet want me to step away, far, far away from the industry that I have dominated for 15 years now? What? Okay, let's get down and dirty with this one. So basically, every time I'm single, again, and you can tell that I give no fucks about being single because I'm laughing about it. Like, I'm all cool. Every time I'm single again, it feels like the trolls come out of the woodwork and they can't handle that I am single. And I had one recent one, and this one wasn't a troll. It was a guy, like, as in I know the human behind it. Basically, come at me with, like, you should post less about your boyfriends on your social media. I'm like, what? Also, I've never met him in person, to be clear. I know of him in Singapore. That's it. I've never had a conversation with him, never met him in person. And he just comes at me with that. And I'm like, what? And basically, the conversation I shouldn't have entertained. But the conversation flowed into him saying, well, I always claim my boyfriends are the one. And then suddenly they're not, and I should just be better at relationships if I'm going to do this kind of like content. And yeah, just underhand insults at me. Obviously, swift block on that fucking twat. But it had me thinking, and it always does, you know. I'm here for open freedom of speech, and I've had a few troll comments, actually from fake accounts, where they're like, "Oh, we're all here just to see what a train wreck of a life you have, lol." And it's only when I go single, or if I start dating again, someone will write like, "Oh yeah, see how long this one lasts." The fact that I find some of these amusing says a lot about my sense of humour. Because I think fair. And a part of me goes, yeah, fair. I get where you're coming from. I can objectively look at the situation and go, okay, got a point. So this is what I'm addressing today. Basically, when I started out on my career, shall we say, in this field, it was back in 2010, and I was Sex and London City. So I was the London real-life version of the fictional character Carrie Bradshaw from Sex and the City, right? Easy reference, whatever. I never claimed to be in any kind of... I'm not a therapist. I'm not a psychologist. I haven't done any courses, you know, in love. I'm not a sex educator in that way. I'm not professional. But I just started writing about my experiences in the dating world, and it blew up, right? In a fucking great way. I never planned to go into that field. It just happened. So I just started like writing, done. And then I kind of owned the space. And it was because of my honesty, my ability to be vulnerable, my ability to put my life out there, happy or sad, for people to connect to. And I guess my ability to show up with like an insane amount of empathy for people going through something I've also been through. So a lot of the time I'd do stories, I'd write blogs and whatever, but it always had a moral behind it. There was always like some kind of like, if you're going through this is what you do, or if it was happy, there was always some kind, I always try to give takeaways, you know, information that people can use. But I never coined myself as a sexpert. That's the UK press did that. So nationally, and my Singapore friends and family and listeners won't even notice this version of me. You didn't know Nixalina of London. But yeah, I was often quoted as a sexpert for many articles. I was interviewed in national press. I was paid a very healthy sum to write about this topic because I owned the space, right? I dominated it. I was the best. And that's why I won 8 fucking awards. 8. I was voted the best sex and relationships writer in the whole of the UK. Can you imagine? Imagine that. Voted by Cosmopolitan magazine, no less. So it's not just some shitty made-up award someone made up in their living room. It was a fucking established publication. So, it's kind of my bag, right? That's what I do. Have I ever claimed to be a perfect girlfriend? No. Have I ever claimed to have my shit figured out? No. And do I tell my tales of woe with as much fact and truth as I possibly can, including any parts I have to play? Yes. Does my relationship status, whether I'm engaged, whether I'm single, whether I'm with someone, does that reflect my expertise in this field? Does it reflect my ability to be able to command this space? No. And like this dude, I did say back to him when he called me out about my relationship status. I said, you know what? All right, I'm going to tell you the fucking truth. And I rattled off in a couple of paragraphs exactly what went down in my last relationship. And I then pointed out that the fiancé cheated. So this guy's angle was, oh, you know, you say they're the love of your life, rah, 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 and then they always end. Yeah. And the fiancé I was going to marry him, wasn't I? I fucking said yes. I was planning the wedding. I can't control whether he goes and gets drunk and drops his trousers and sticks his dick in someone else, can I? What I can control is whether I choose to stay or leave. And I chose to fucking leave. And he's got to the point where I feel like the internet would rather I'd stayed with someone who treats me like that because that makes them feel better. Or like, oh, we can trust Nix now, she's engaged. We can trust Nix now, she's going to have a baby. Even the fact that I still haven't had kids just bothers people. I'm like, well, I chose not to. And thank God I didn't, because I would have been in hell. I would have been pregnant, engaged, just found out he's cheated. Some other shit went down, which I won't say for his own privacy, but I was left alone in the house for 3 weeks. He fucked off to another country. Like, oh, it was awful. There's no way I would have wanted to have kids and been in that situation. But I feel I have to now explain this to people. And the recent boyfriend, I've kept my mouth pretty shut on actually what went down, but you'd all be fucking horrified if I told you. Horrified. And there's a handful of people that know the actual truth. And I've said from start to finish. And yes, my recent boyfriend, when I met him, yeah, I did. I loved him. Yes, I did think it was the one. Because I'm a helpless romantic, always have been, always will be. Because I am so trusting when I meet people. Because that's who I am, and because I don't expect people to show up with any calculated, manipulative, ulterior motive in my life, because I'm not wired that way. I'm me from day one. I'm consistent from the get-go. I'm hi, me, and then I fall in love with the person they show me at the beginning, and I trust that's who they are until they prove me otherwise. And sadly, once again, I got proven otherwise in quite a horrific way, I'll be honest. And also, to be clear, I never dumped him. He dumped me. Okay? And once again, not too ashamed to say that. Not above being dumped. And being dumped by him was the best thing that could have ever happened to me, because I would never have left him, and I would have put up with all that diabolical stuff that I went through. And I did tell this guy in a DM, I summed it up. Like, this, and this, and this, and this, and this. Okay, what would you prefer I stayed with him? Oh, the fiancé, this, and this. Would you prefer I stayed with him? And the guy never responded. I thought, yeah, fuck you. So everyone's got mouth looking at my life from a distance. But when I'm actually like, oh, I don't need to explain the ins and outs of like the real private part of my life. And if I do, then I think I get the reaction which I assume it will be, because no one, like I said, I've not told the world what I went through this year, and I don't think I'm not sure yet. I haven't decided, but yeah, fuck me, like, I'm so happy being single. And the guy dumped me because I left him to have a nap. Come on. Like, it's insane. The whole thing is insane from start to finish, and I look back and I can't believe I lived that. I really can't. But then don't come at me for being single. Like, oh, you should be better in relationships. I can't control whether someone is an emotionally abusive fuck, can I? I can't control whether someone wants to go off and cheat on me, can I? What I can control is showing up for myself in the relationship, showing up for myself single. What I can control is spotting the red flags. And I didn't. And that's my shit. I was so enamored and in love, I ignored all of the scary red flags, scary fucking loud, bright red flags. I ignored them. That's my shit. But don't fucking make out like I can't deal with the dating, sex and love content. I can't carry on being an expert in the industry that I have commanded for 15 years because I'm single again. Fuck off. And I always put it like this, right? If I wanted to learn about World War I, right, I really wanted to know what it was like. What was it like living in the trenches? What was it like going into battle against machine guns? What was it like? Do I pick up a book and read some scholarly information about it? Or do I sit with a survivor, a soldier who made it through the war, who lived through it? Who would I prefer to go to get information on that topic? Obviously, I want to go to the person who lived fucking through it. They're going to have such a better account and first-hand experience than reading it from a book. That's how I feel about me. Sure, I am single again. No, it doesn't fucking affect whether I'm able to talk about dating, sex and love. And if anything, it helps. Because there is nothing you guys can come at me with that I can't help you out on. Nothing. Not physical abuse, not emotional abuse, not psychological abuse, and not cheating, betrayal, not narcissistic personality disorders, not being dumped, not choosing to leave, nothing. Bad sex, good sex, withdrawal of sex. What if your partner doesn't even want to have sex with you anymore for no fucking reason? What if they're using sex as a weapon? What about if they don't bother making you come? What if you can't come? What if their dick don't work? I have seen it all. So therefore, I actually believe my current status in life makes me exactly the right person to continue doing what I do best. You can come at me with some more troll comments on this, as you can probably hear. No fucks given. I appreciate people having their opinions, and I will objectively agree. Yeah, okay. Sure, she's single again. Fucking good. Because if any one of you had an inkling of what I lived through in that very short-term relationship, you would be so thankful I'm single again. If anything, you would probably blame me for staying as long as I did. And lots of people do. When I finally fess up, they're like, how did you last that long? How did you live and last that long? I'm like, I don't know. Looking back, don't know. Anyway, Don't be sad if you opened up this episode thinking I'm hanging up the towel and I'm leaving. If anything, I'm going full force. I love to help you all out. And if you've all noticed as well, not that anyone fucking cares, but I will message and reply back to DMs. I don't charge for any of it. I am there and I have conversations with complete strangers, of really long conversations about really in-depth stuff. And I just do it because I know that person probably needs someone to talk to in ways I've needed it for. I'm not cashing in on this. And I've never claimed to be any kind of expert, okay? You can't be an expert in dating, sex or love. It's so subjective. You can't. You can do qualifications to be counsellors, to be sex therapists, different, but you can't, oh, I'm an expert in dating. It's fucking impossible. I never said I was. And I never will be. And I just want you to know, if you ask me 10 times over, would I rather be married and with kids with one of my exes, any one of them now, than be single, I would fucking rather be single. So people coming at me about being single, you have no idea how happy I am. I don't see it as a deficit to my life. I see it as a positive. And who knows what 2025 will bring. I shall say that for now. Say less, I will say less. Thank you all for listening to my rant. And I hope if you do love my content, you continue with me every week and on my Instagram at Nixalina, Nixalina. Thanks for listening to the Can't Keep My Mouth Shut podcast. Produced and hosted by me, Nixalina, and recorded in the Splicecast Studios in Singapore. I'm available to listen to on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google, and all major podcast listening apps. Do subscribe to enjoy a new episode every Monday evening. Please do give me a 5-star review. It helps other people also find my podcast. For more content and features to read, you can check out my website, Nixalina.com. That's Nixalina.com. I'm also on social media. Simply search at Nixalina, Nixalina, to find me. Don't be shy. Come say hi.